Metallica gives back, Savatage open up their cards, and Slipknot's long-lasting mystery is about to be finally over. Metal is live and well, so let's see what keeps it going today. Here you go. By the way guys, I just realized that this is going to be our last Metal Digest before Christmas, so before anything, Merry Christmas, everyone! Thank you guys so much for this amazing heavy metal community and for this year. And I promise you that next year we're going to take the show to an absolutely new level. Next week we're going to do a wrap-up of this year, including the announcement of what you guys voted for the best metal album of 2024. So make sure to not miss it. But for now, thank you guys so much. Love each and every one of you. Alright. Now let's do it! Metallica gives back.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
This week, Metallica once again proved that they're not only the biggest rock and metal band to ever exist in the history of music, but they're also just simply nice people, as they organized yet another of their annual Helping Hands concerts. And of course, in addition to the concert which took place at YouTube Theater in Los Angeles on December 13th, and which gathered fans and celebrities from pretty much all over the world, and which, by the way, you can actually stream for free on YouTube right now, Metallica also organized an online auctioning off quite a lot of the rare Metallica memorabilia, all of which, of course, was signed by Metallica themselves. And although, as of right now, we still don't know how much exactly they were able to raise during that event, we can already see that on the auction itself, they were able to fundraise around $300,000, which, who knows, might even help them top their previous achievement of 2022, when they were able to raise more than $3 million, every penny of which they promised to go to charity. And here's the thing, I know that everyone loves giving crap to Metallica, and even under this post, so many people are, complaining about how Metallica is doing it just to show off or something like this, which I think is just utter nonsense, because the truth is that Metallica is the biggest band on the planet, and at this stage of their career, they definitely do not need any kind of PR. So I actually do believe that whatever they do to give back to the community. So my take on this is, unless you were able to raise at least half of what they did, just shut up. And instead, I just want to thank Metallica for once again proving to the world that despite of what anyone says about us metalheads, we are actually pretty decent people. And here's the thing, guys, I know that you most likely hate when YouTubers do that, but the truth is that I simply have to remind you about this to even keep this channel alive. So, I'll try to be super quick. But the thing is that if you still haven't purchased some wintry edition of the Metal Pilgrim merch, which is obviously inspired by some of our favorite bands and has a lot of clues and hints to Iron Maiden, Metallica, Judas Priest, and you name it, you can look at it and find it for yourself later on. Just know that you can do it via a link in the description to this video, and I'll be very thankful to everyone who decides to represent the show and rock some Metal Pilgrim merch. And yes, obviously I'll be more than happy to send it pretty much anywhere across the world. Death Metal's strike. Every once in a while on this channel, which as we all know is mostly dedicated to this classic heavy metal, I speak about bands which most of us would most likely not really discover otherwise. And today I'm more than happy to share the news about the band Hell On, which, as you can imagine, derives their name from a rather popular instrumental piece by one little heavy metal band. Because these boys just dropped the second video from their latest studio album, Shaman, and it freaking rocks! The thing is that while watching this video, I actually realized one thing: how much I missed music videos with a plot and with real human beings being in it. Because the thing is that most of metal music videos today are either really packed with CGI or simply depict a band rocking out to their own music, which is absolutely fine. I actually do enjoy those quite a lot. But the thing is that, and I do understand that it might be just my nostalgia speaking here, I really do miss those old school 1980s and 1990s videos in which you actually watch it as a piece of art, as a short movie of some sort, and which story really goes together with the music performed by the band. And the thing is that this music video is exactly like that. So yeah guys, if you're a fan of death metal, or if you are just like myself, a fan of those, plot-oriented music videos, definitely check out this latest one by Hell On. And the thing is that, and I do understand that I may sound like an old fart talking, but I really do hope that I will see more and more of such real music videos in metal in the coming years. Because for me, those were always somewhat like a continuation of an album artwork, a piece of art which you are supposed to enjoy while listening to music, instead of just some random visuals to make it go on YouTube. And here I just simply have to share rather sad statistics that only around 30% of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed to the Metal Pilgrim channel. So if you still haven't done so, and especially if this is not the first video you're watching on the show, I would really appreciate it if you would consider doing it right now. Let's continue building this amazing heavy metal community together. Slipknot's old news. After years of speculations and endless teases, Slipknot percussionist Sean "Clown" Crahan has finally confirmed the release of the band's most anticipated and the most mysterious record. In a recent interview, Clown affirmed that the band's Look Outside Your Window, a long-awaited project recorded during the sessions of the band's 2008 album All Hope Is Gone, is fully ready for release. Like with artwork and everything. And the only reason why Slipknot fans are not going to get it in 2024 is, well, because it's almost Christmas and no one is working anymore. But Clown promises that as of right now, it is completely out of his hands and has been given to the management for an official release. Most likely in the coming months. And in case you have no idea what all the buzz is about, Look Outside Your Window is supposed to showcase a completely different side of Slipknot's creativity, and the 11 tracks recorded for it more than 15 years ago are described as atmospheric, melodic, and hauntingly experimental, and are supposed to have a more Radiohead vibe to it. Yeah. By the way, only 4 Slipknot members were involved in the writing process, who, in addition to Clown, are Corey Taylor, Jim Root, and Sid Wilson. And of course, because of all that, the project has gained a nearly mythical status among the maggots. So, although I cannot really call myself a huge Slipknot fan, even I am actually super excited to hear what exactly the boys have recorded all those years ago and finally see why it has been shelved for so long. And by the way, in that same interview, Clown also spoke about something which has divided the metal community in the past week. And here, of course, I can do a regular thing and speak for the 100th time about how I absolutely don't get Sleep Token, because, Clown spoke about them as well, politely saying that he's rather happy that they're gaining their audience. But we all know that wouldn't really be too divisive. So the thing that has actually divided the fans was the whole statement by Clown that he thinks that in the future there will be a lot of absolutely horrible bands which will be headlining major metal festivals, whose musicianship is replaced by computer and whose creativity is being replaced by simply good marketing. And although he didn't really name any specific names in his statement, this has actually caused quite an outrage. Because, I mean, let's agree here, it does actually sound like an old man complaining about, everything being much better in his time. At least on one hand. But on the other, well, if you ask me, I cannot really name at least 10 young bands who would be able to headline, let's say, Wacken or Download Festival today and do it as well as all those legends would. So here, I just wanted to ask you, what do you guys personally think about it? Do you agree with Clown on this one? And if not, which are the bands you think deserve way more attention and are ready to be headlining the major metal festivals around the world? Please let us know in the comments. Because the thing is, first of all, I'm really curious to find out, and secondly, well, I'd love to give them more spotlight on this show. The Legends return. One of the biggest and the most surprising, yet very pleasant news of the last couple of months in the world of heavy metal was the return of the band Savatage, which the boys have announced for 2025.
In the hall of the mountain king!
Yet, of course, as expected, after more than a 20-year-long break, Savatage fans have quite a lot of questions for the band. And so, you know me, maybe that's why I simply couldn't resist and invite no one else but Savatage themselves for this week's Metal Chat.
And you started talking about John. We'll talk about him in a moment, a little bit. But you think, you just mentioned that there is a chance that he'll do something similar to what Glenn Tipton is doing currently with Judas Priest. So whenever he can perform, he might go up on stage and do a song or two, you think?
I mean, that's the idea for us, is really it's going to be up to John, when John is able to do what John is able to do. I know, personally, I'm going to see John tomorrow. He's coming out to see us with TSO, and when he's there, we'll be speaking about the set list for Savatage and what we're going to do, and I'll know more of how he feels and what he has going on. And every time, I speak to him, I find out, more about how he is and where that's going. So, as far as where John is, that's going to be up to John. He wants to be there. I think, I got to be honest with you, I think us going and playing is going to really push him to get this, whatever the physical therapy is, and make things happen that gets him there, because I know the Mountain King and he wants to be there. He doesn't not want to be there. So it's going to be one of these things, and we're going to do whatever we can to make sure that we incorporate him into the show. I mean, technology has a lot of things. We're talking right now, and if this was a show, you wouldn't be at our show where we are here, but you're there. So there's ways to get John to leave it to these shows. So we'll figure it out.
Wow, that's cool.
It's very honorable of John to allow us to do this. Savatage is his baby. He started this thing back in the early 80s, and the fact that he's like, let's let these guys get out there and play and get this thing rolling. He's got some help things he's really got to straighten out, and they are serious. They're unforeseen. All of a sudden these things just happen. But John, I give that man a lot of credit for saying, okay, guys, we've all collectively, what did we figure, Chris, 160 years or 70 years or something like that?
Yeah.
We've collectively been working for John Oliva, and he trusts us. So this band going out there and getting this ball rolling is I think Chris kind of nailed it on the head. This is going to be inspiration for John too. And, we're all just hoping for him to get healthy and get back on the horse, get back out here with us.
When I looked at him the last time I saw him, and I said to him that, I've never done a Savatage show without you. We had, really close talk about this stuff and got into that in particular. And he looked at me and he just says, would you go fucking play? So any fans that tell me that this ain't Savatage, it ain't John, it's like, talk to him. It's like, keep your opinions to yourself. I know who John is, and I know what Savatage is. And when, when the Mountain King yells at you and tells you to go do that, I'm gonna go do it. It's like that's basically where I'm at.
Hey, so I'm still one of the new guys, and I've been here for 30 years. So I think we got this covered.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true. And like I always say, the whole fact that heavy metal is the music that is supposed to be enjoyed in sweaty clubs and on festivals, not just online or on your cassettes or vinyl records, right? I mean, it is live music. So the gift of Savatage should continue to be given to the fans. And I very much agree with this, and I'm very much excited about this, to be honest with you.
Great. We appreciate that.
ready.
The full interview with Savatage about quite a lot of things will actually be available on this channel in just a couple of days, and is actually already available for all of my patrons. So here, as always, just thank you guys so much for all your support. So if you're a fan of the band, definitely do not miss it. But for now, I just wanted to point out that Savatage, in my opinion, is actually one of those bands which definitely helped shape in metal as we know it today, as their influence on the development of heavy metal, and especially in the late 80s and early 90s, was simply enormous, and their music did inspire dozens, if not hundreds, of new bands around the world. So I don't know about you, I'm actually super excited for this band to be able to go up on stage once again, and I simply cannot wait to hear what the boys have prepared for us on their new album, of which of course we'll talk in that interview. The Hall of the Mountain King. Despite the whole fact that it's pretty much the end of the year and many are in vacation mode already, some metal fans continue releasing amazing new records. And that means that the time has come for your favorite part of the video, in which you don't have to look at my face, but instead we'll simply talk about 5 latest releases from this week. The legendary King Diamond finally officially released his new track Spider Lily. And although this song has actually already been presented live to the fans before, new King Diamond music is always a big deal in the metal world. And by the way, just as a reminder, recently King Diamond confirmed that their new album is almost ready and will most likely see the world in 2025, although it is still unclear whether this song will make it on it or not. German folk metal veterans Subway to Sally dropped their 15th studio album, which came out less than 2 years after the release of their previous one. Overall, it looks like right now Subway to Sally experience a true second life of their band, and on this record they bring the theatrical element of their music to an even higher level than before. One of the most pleasant surprises of this year, the band Cemetery Skyline released a live semi-acoustic version of their song The Coldest Heart, recorded right before the release of their debut album Nordic Gothic this October. And by the way, although this band was formed only this year, this yet another project of Mikael Stane has already been nominated for the Finnish EMA 2025 in the categories Best Rock and Best Artist, which is pretty awesome.
This bird has flown.
Epic death metal Gladiators Ex Deo are set to release their EP Year of the Four Emperors on January 10th, and to celebrate it, this band, led by the Cataclysm vocalist Mauricio Iacono, also dropped the first single off of it, titled Vespasian. Definitely worth a listen for every fan of the genre. Theophilus Xenidis, better known as Phil X, the guitarist of Bon Jovi, released a new song and a video, Don't Wake Up Dead, featuring Korn drummer Ray Luzier. Overall, this is a rather straightforward headbanging rock and roll, but if we're being honest, that's exactly what we all expect from Phil. And obviously, guys, these are just some of the best releases from this week, but here I feel like it's very appropriate to remind you that we're currently voting for the best metal album of 2024, and you only have a week left to give your vote for what you consider to be the best album of this year. So if you still haven't done so, or if you have done so already but you want to vote more than once, head to metalpilgrim.net and cast your vote for the best album of the year. And by the way, our metal expert panel has already been announced on the website, so you can actually finally see who are those mysterious experts who'll be voting alongside yourself. So cast your vote and let the best metal album win. Metal fraud. And now we come to the most hilarious part of the video, because I actually think it's really funny, because some of the biggest news of the past couple of weeks within the rock and metal YouTube bubble was the situation with Finn Mckenty, better known as Punk Rock MBA. And in case you have no idea who that is, it's a pretty big channel that has been going on for the past 7 years, talking about the development of mostly new metal, and who has been able to build a huge name for himself, you know, within the community. And about a month ago, he simply stopped posting videos, which had millions of his fans puzzled, and this week appeared at a random interview on an absolutely different channel, in which he opened up saying that he doesn't actually give a flip about this music.
Is that why you started making videos, just because of all the negativity?
No, it's because like I don't really have any interest in music, so I was just doing it for the money, and I hit my financial goals, and so there's really just no reason for me, like I don't have to keep doing it.
So apparently Finn was doing this only for money. He doesn't know anything about rock and metal, and all he did was simply read Wikipedia articles. No, seriously, that's what he said.
So you really didn't enjoy it at all? There's just like no part of you that was like, oh, I'm excited to talk about this band today, or anything like that. It was always just completely transactional for you?
Yeah, I don't have any interest in music at all.
And I actually think that it's pretty hilarious. Well, of course not for all of his fans who have been watching him for the past 7 years and whom he bluntly lied about being a huge fan of their favorite bands, and in reality he doesn't give a flip about them, he doesn't know anything about them, and he never actually cared about any of it. So yeah, I feel for those guys. But what I think is hilarious is that, well, according to him, he did that simply to meet his financial goals. But at the same time, with his degree and with what apparently he would like to do from now on, he could actually started a YouTube channel about cryptocurrencies or freaking financial news, and he would have made 10 times more money than what he did doing something he absolutely hates. And this, my friends, is the biggest irony of it all, because the truth is that, you know, this niche doesn't pay that much on YouTube, and he could have actually done what he cares about and gained so much more. But yeah, anyway, I guess among the upcoming news in the world of metal will be that Metal Pilgrim actually hates Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and doesn't give a flip about your stupid heavy metal. And I'm actually doing this Metal Pilgrim channel for money. Or cookies, because there's not much money in this. Yeah.
Dance, crush the speaker that booms. I'm killing your brain like a poisonous mushroom, deadly.
But anyways, what new music did you listen to this week? Please let us know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Thank you so much for ordering Metal Pilgrim merch, liking these videos, commenting under them, and, you know, for everything. Honestly, means the world to me. But more than anything, thank you so much for supporting me, this show in Ukraine, through this very and very difficult time. We will prevail. Slava Ukraini!